This is Indiana High School Softball on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Brought to you in part by Culver's Portside Marina, NEPCO, Crane and Equipment Services, Farm Fertilizers, First Farmers Bank and Trust, Lawrence Farms, Mark's Body Shop in Knox, Zingo Express, Pulaski Memorial Hospital, Stark County Co-op, The Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen, Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Collins Insurance, Howard's Marathon of Winamac, and 5-Star. The KVB pregame show with Mitch Columbi is next.
The next offering swung on and popped. Deep hit, and it's going to be gone. A big-time home run.
5-Star, the largest meat and grocery store in the area, focused on quality, value, and customer service. The 5 stars in the name of the store come from 5 family members of the original owners serving in World War II, each one represented by a blue star on a flag hanging in the front window of the family home. That's why even decades later, 5-Star is known for its dedication to service. Now that dedication means savings for you. 5-Star, one of the We Care stores, the area's largest meat and grocery store, focused on quality, value, and customer service. Located, you know where, in the Knox Mall.
Big time
That's the
hit,
game.
and that's going to be a walk-off RBI single. Swung on, chopper to third. Here comes the go-ahead run. It's over the head of the center fielder, and it's a home run.
Oh, my
goodness.
Homer. Welcome to the KVB pregame show. Now, here is the voice of KVB's WKVI Sports, Mitch Columbi.
The new era continues here on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. The Winamac Lady Warriors host Hoosier North Athletic Conference rival, the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. This is Indiana High School Softball. With us tonight, breaking things down and analyzing play on the diamond, is our sports analyst, Nathan Origer. Hey, I'm Mitch Columbi. The tradition continues. This is KVB's WKVI Sports. Welcome you to the beautiful Warriors softball field in Winamac, Indiana. 46996. We are back for more as we are set to continue the new era of Kankakee Valley Broadcasting Sports on 99.3 FM and around the world, streaming live on WKVI.com as we get ready for our third softball broadcast of the 2024 spring sports season. We have talked with both head coaches of the Winamac Lady Warriors, Jenny Belcher, and the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Jays, Gary Baxter, of course, on the Saturday Sports Line. But when we look at the home team in today's contest, Winamac manager Jenny Belcher and her Lady Warriors started their 2024 campaign against Tippecanoe Valley and won 6-5. They followed that up with a tough loss against South Central on April 6th. The final in that one was 6-3. They hit the road to take on Rochester and fell 3-0. They then beat Northfield big time, 16-2. Then they took on Pioneer, one of their other rivals, on the road and lost 5-1. Then they beat LaVille with a final score of 19-1. We saw them take on their cross-county rival, the very talented West Central Lady Trojans, and came out victorious in a come-from-behind win in the 7th inning, 5-4. That following night, we saw them take a tough loss here at home to the Knox Lady Redskins, 9-8. where they almost provided another come-from-behind win but fell short. Since that time, they have beaten North White 11-0. They fell to Logansport 6-0 and beat Delphi Community this past Saturday 6-1. The Lady Warriors come into today's contest at 6-5 on the year and are 1-2 in Hoosier North Athletic Conference play. Leading the team, swinging the bats for the Lady Warriors is Michaela Warner, averaging a .412 at the plate. Right behind her is Maggie Smith, batting a .407 up to this point. Rounding out the top three is Lindsay Walters. She's averaging a .400 at the plate. As a team, these Warriors are hitting a .274 batting average on 81 hits, 75 runs, 51 RBIs, while striking out 74 times. For the pitching, the Warriors have used 4 different arms through the 69 innings pitched. They have an ERA rating of 3.25. They have allowed 74 hits, 42 runs, and have struck out their opponents 50 times. With us tonight, back for more, is our sports analyst, Nathan Orger. How was your weekend?
Other than the 4 hours I spent in the office yesterday catching up on everything except what I meant to be working on, it was pretty decent, Mitch. Thank you. How about yours?
It went well. It was very nice to have the Sunday off, as I'm not sure what's going on in center field right now.
No, I believe they are
joining
in the baseball national anthem instead of doing it over here.
I see. Well, let's just say this right now. After what we saw last week from Winamac and that baseball club from Brody Winsler, man, it's great to be back in Winamac now for a home softball game. But what an impressive performance that was by Brody.
You are not kidding. That kid just maintained control like I don't think I've really seen very often, if ever, at the high school level.
Is impressive.
Yeah, in 7 innings, he only exceeded 15 pitches once. He was just on fire.
Well, give us your thoughts on these Lady Warriors after hearing that quick rundown.
Well, it's kind of interesting the way they compare to North Judson. They've gotten a few more games in, but both teams have slight winning records, and both are 1-2 in the conference. So I feel like this is a pretty important battle tonight. Their top hitters, solid batting averages. 3 of them hitting over 400, and one of them is actually hitting 500 on her OBP.
Yeah,
they can put the ball into play. That is for sure. I think a lot of it is probably going to hinge for them on how Roush pitches tonight, because though they've struggled a bit defensively in their last start. I think Molly Madsen struggled a bit on the mound. The Lady Jays bats have been absolutely on fire, and so Roush is going to have to really have control of her stuff tonight, and that defense is going to have to back her up.
Yeah, we saw Brooke Roush take on the Knox Lady Redskins. Almost came back and won that game, but the final was 9-8. The Lady Redskins beat the Warriors. That was the last time we were here to see the Lady Warriors softball club, but we turn the page now and look at the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. Head coach Gary Baxter and his Lady Jays started their 2024 campaign on April 5th against Westville and won 7-3. They then traveled to North White and won 9-5 before losing to Caston on the 16th, 13-2. They then beat conference foe LaVille and won big time, 22-0. Then they beat Frontier on the road, 13-0. 1 week ago today, they hosted Culver Military Academy and won 15-5. Last Wednesday, they fell to North Newton 10-0, and then on Thursday, they fell to Pioneer in a close one, 13-11. The Lady Jays come into today's contest at 5-3 on the year, and like Nathan mentioned a moment ago, 1-2 in Hoosier North Athletic Conference play. Leading the team, swinging the bats for the Lady Jays is Anna Garbison, averaging a .591 at the plate. Right behind her is Brandy Frederick, batting a .533 up to this point. Rounding out the top three is Olivia Tim, averaging a .429 at the plate, and as a team, these Jays are hitting a .406 batting average on 71 hits, 66 runs, 42 RBIs, while striking out 49 times. For the pitching, the Jays have used 2 different arms through the 36 innings pitched. They have an ERA rating of 2.92. They have allowed 42 hits, 39 runs, and have struck out their opponents 44 times. Now, since you are the public address announcer for the Lady Jays, I know you have seen them in person. What is something you can share with us about this year's squad?
So, as I noted a moment ago, they have really been hitting the ball well. You went through the top 3 batting average leaders. They have 9 batters with a sufficient number of plate appearances hitting 300 or above. And all 5 of them also have on-base percentages of 400 or above. It's just absolutely phenomenal how they've been hitting at the plate. Molly Madsen, I adore that young lady.
We remember her as a freshman.
Well, her 8th grade year, she was up in the press box with me, so I got to know her really well. And she has been a very solid pitcher, but she has been relied on a lot.
Wow.
And I think she started probably every game, and
wow.
The only other pitchers coming in relief. They had their Friday game canceled, so she's had a little bit of an opportunity to rest.
But it's been all her.
Yeah, it's been all her, and she's really going to have to show her best stuff tonight, and that defense is going to have to back her up. I talked to Coach Baxter before the game, and I also talked to him after that Thursday loss, and the defense, they fell apart behind Molly. That close game, it was 13-11, and if I recall correctly, they were up 11-7 going into the maybe 5th or 6th inning before the wheels fell off the train.
Man.
And so they're going to have to hustle. They're going to have to hit the ball, but defense is where they're really going to have to step it up because, like I said, they are just hitting machines. If I'm Coach Baxter, I'm a little concerned that my regular third baseman, Kenya Cooper, is out sick tonight.
My goodness.
I think she's the number 5 in batting average leaders for the team, and she is number 4 in OBP, or tied for number 3.
Man.
And she's only a junior, but she has stepped up a little bit in a leadership role in the team. And so there's a couple of different people on the field in a couple of different places tonight, and it's going to be a test of how much they have prepared for this game. Brandy Frederick, their normal designated player, does not play a lot of defense. She's at second base, and their second baseman has moved to third to fill in for Cooper. So it's going to be a little different lineup they've got out on the field tonight, and we'll see how they stand up behind Molly.
Well, a lot of people have told me in the area when it comes to Winamac, North Judson-San Pierre, you better buckle up. It is going to be a rivalry atmosphere as we are expecting a great afternoon of IHSAA Hoosier North Athletic Conference softball rivalry action. We appreciate you joining us on the Coca-Cola pregame show. Taste the feeling. We'll be back after a word from our sponsors. The Pulaski Memorial Hospital Injury Report is next. You are listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
It's hard to believe, but time sure does fly by. Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox are celebrating over 30 years of taking care of all of your insurance needs in our communities.
If I could turn back time.
And we're not going anywhere. Stop in and see Jim and the crew at Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox. Insurance you can count on from a business you've trusted since 1989. Proud presidential partners of Western Reserve.
Who's in? Who's out? It's the Pulaski Memorial Hospital Injury Report with Mitch Columbi. Mitch?
Appreciate you, John. The Pulaski Memorial Hospital has been serving lives of the residents of Pulaski County and the surrounding area since 1963. We appreciate them supporting local high school sports. As Nathan mentioned a moment ago, one injury to report. It's not a serious injury, but Kenya Cooper of the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays is out due to sickness today. We hope she has a speedy recovery and gets back on the diamond for the Lady Jays soon. We invite you to stay tuned as we will hear from Jenny Belcher of the Warriors after the break in the KVB Coach's Corner. You are listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Stay tuned for America's Pastime with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home. Pulaski Memorial Hospital is all about community and keeping our community spotlight shining on the accomplishments of our youth. That's why PMH is proud to be a sponsor of our local high school sports action on WKVI, our community radio station. Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home.
It's time to hear from the coaches in the KVB Coaches Corner. Here's Mitch Columbi.
All right, I'm with head coach of the Winamac Lady Warriors Softball Club, Ginny Belcher. Coach, last time we saw you, you guys almost came back against the Knox Lady Redskins. Catch us up to speed. What has been going on with this program?
Last week we had a couple rainouts. Spring weather's been something. But we got a North White game in on Monday, and we won that game. We played Logan Sport on Thursday, and we lost to Logan Sport, and then we headed to Delphi on Saturday and got a win down at Delphi. We need this weather to clear up, and we need to be able to get some games in.
Yeah, I see you've got Brooke Roush on the mound again today. Of course, we're in the circle, I should say. We've seen her before. What do you expect to see from her out on the field?
She's been really consistent for us. Brooke has done a great job, especially as a sophomore. She accepts challenges well. She likes pitching in big games, and she should do well for us tonight, I think.
Maybe a message that you're going to give your girls on offense when it comes time to hitting.
Lately, we've been putting the ball in play and hitting pretty well, so I'm really looking for more of the same. We just got to get up to the plate. We got to attack the strikes.
Message to Warrior Nation who may be listening.
Hey, looks like the rain's going to hold off. It's always a good game when we get North Judson and Winamac in anything. So come on out and see a good one.
Appreciate your time, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Brems. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392.
Hey folks, Auto Park Fort LaPorte has got some news for you. We now have the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in LaPorte County. So if you're in the market, come and check us out because right now is the best time to trade in your current vehicle. Not interested in purchasing a vehicle? That's okay. We'll buy yours even if you don't buy ours. Not currently in the market, but your car needs serviced? Come check out our newly renovated service department and let them take care of all your service needs. And remember, we're not just an auto dealer, we're an auto park.
Time now for the keys to the game. Sponsored by the Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen.
All right, as we get set for Indiana High School softball rivalry action, what are your keys to the game as a North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jay, Nathan?
Mitch, I talked about how the defense has been a little rough. I was telling you off the air, 5 of their games have been 10-run affairs. 3 they've won, 2 they've lost. In a lot of respects, I think, not to discredit Winamac, but this game for the Lady Jays is going to come down to how they play against themselves. As much their mental state as their skills on the field. I think that they are just as likely to beat themselves as they are to get beat, and so they really just need to stay focused on the goal at hand, not be making sloppy plays that should be simple, that sort of thing. I think, like I said, their bats have been fire, but if they aren't in it mentally, if they're not making the routine plays they need to make, it's going to be rough for them.
All right, now flip sides. If you are the Winamac Lady Warriors, what do you want to see?
I think it's about putting the ball in play, and taking advantage of mistakes that the Lady Jays make. If the Jays are on top of things, it's going to be a very competitive game. If Winamac can take advantage of some errors, some miscues, some mental hiccups, it's going to be in their hands.
That's our keys to the game, sponsored by the Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen. Time to sit back, pop open an ice-cold Coke and chill. The Coca-Cola pregame show continues. You're listening to KVB's WKVI Sports.
Be BP gasoline with Invigorate helps clean your engine and can give you more miles per tank. Continuous use may result in the following pleasant side effects: excessive smiling, feeling more relaxed, taking more drives just because, volunteering for carpool twice in a row, and bragging to your friends about how you use our best fuel ever. To find out if BP gasoline with Invigorate is right for you, stop by your local station to discover our best fuel ever. Versus minimum detergent gas. Average restored 3 to 5 miles per tank, based on fleet testing and based on what you drive and how you drive.
High school sports brought to you by Zingo Express. Now it's time for the KVB starting lineups.
For the Lady Warriors in the field to start today, we will see Piper Link in left field, Michaela Werner in center field, and Maggie Kellers in right field. The infield shows Lindsay Walters at third base, Izzy Decker at second base, Brody Goodman at first, Maggie Smith is the shortstop, Corinne Combs behind home plate as the catcher, and Brooke Roush gets the call to start on the mound in this one. For the Lady Warriors. For the Lady Jays of North Judson-San Pierre, their batting order shows catcher Sophia Chafin's leading off, then first baseman Reagan Hensley, the pitcher Molly Madsen, and the center fielder Anna Garbison is the cleanup hitter. Batting fifth will be second baseman Brandy Frederick, then third baseman Virginia Chambers, right fielder Olivia Tim bats seventh, shortstop Melissa Lambert is at the 8th slot, and at the bottom of the lineup we will see left fielder Emma Baxter. That is our starting lineups for today, as we will be back to get set for the first pitch. You are listening to KVB's WKVI.
Stay tuned for America's Pastime with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Culver's Portside Marina handles all water and recreational needs. When it comes to pontoons, Godfrey leads the industry in performance and quality, and Portside Marina has them in stock. From Sanpan, Aqua Patio, Sweetwater, and Monaco pontoons, if you're looking for a family boat, Culver's Portside Marina can help. Discover the evolution of the wake boat through luxury models offered from Centurion and Supreme Surf Boats. Yamaha Wave Runners and Kawasaki jet skis are on the showroom floor waiting. Located at 514 West Mill Street in Culver. Stop in or call them at 574-842-5000. Culver's Portside Marina.
5 Star, the largest meat and grocery store in the area, focused on quality, value, and customer service. The 5 stars in the name of the store come from 5 family members of the original owners serving in World War II, each one represented by a blue star on a flag hanging in the front window of the family home. That's why even decades later, 5 Star is known for its dedication to service. Now that dedication means savings for you. 5 Star, one of the We Care stores, the area's largest meat and grocery store, focused on quality, value, and customer service. Located, you know where, in the Knox Mall.
Hey folks, Auto Park Fort LaPorte has got some news for you. We now have the largest selection of pre-owned vehicles in LaPorte County. So if you're in the market, come and check us out, because right now is the best time to trade in your current vehicle. Not interested in purchasing a vehicle? That's okay. We'll buy yours even if you don't buy ours. Not currently in the market, but your car needs serviced? Come check out our newly renovated service department and let them take care of all your service needs. And remember, we're not just an auto dealer, we're an auto park.
The tradition continues with Mitch Columbi on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
From Winamac, Indiana, welcome to game number 7 of our 2024 Spring Sports broadcast season, to see the Winamac Lady Warriors take on their conference rival, the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. I am Mitch Columbi. The tradition continues here on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting as WKVI will always be there. You can stay up to speed on local high school sports in this area. Follow us on social media. We are on Instagram at WKVI Sports, on X, formerly Twitter, at KVB Sports, and on Facebook at Sports to the Max for all Kankakee Valley Broadcasting sports content. You can listen to us on your phone. Just go to one of our social media sites I mentioned and tap the link on our page. We are literally in the palm of your hand. Well, we are proud to let you know the public address announcer today at Warrior Softball Field is Mara Holohan. The scoreboard operator is Hunter Hines. Our umpires for this evening are Janice Beck and Dale Beck. With us this afternoon, we are honored to have sports analyst Nathan Orger along for the call. And like I said, I'm Mitch Columbi, proud to be doing the play-by-play as we are set for Indiana High School softball rivalry action from Winamac, Indiana, just across the way. Here at Winamac, the Winamac Boys Baseball Club is taking on Caston, and we have our very own Al Breifogel on the line to give us an up-to-date moment. What's going on over there across the way, Al?
Hey, Mitch, good to be here tonight. We got the 4-7, 3-2 in conference, Caston Comets visiting the Warriors, who are 5-3 and 4-1 in the conference. We're at the end of one inning. It's 0-0. It ended up being a beautiful night. We're playing over here already. Y'all need to get going over there.
Well, who do you have on the mound for the Warriors today?
Got Addison Allen pitching. We ended up in the first inning. Caston loaded the bases, didn't score. Took a little while to find the strike zone. Once we found the strike zone, we were all right. And then we came up and went 3 up, 3 down. So we're in the top of the second right now. Comets coming up to bat.
Yeah, Nathan and I were talking about the performance we saw Brody Winsler have on the mound for the Warriors. 2 games back-to-back for him where it was a complete shutout, only allowing 1 hit. Boy, what can you say about Winsler?
Oh, I know, he's just on fire. And, it's really when we needed it because, the game's kind of stacked up with weather delays and stuff. So he did a couple great performances. And, Winamac, the turnaround they've done on defense, guys, that's what the main thing I noticed with this team. They can hit the ball. They could hit the ball, but the first few games they really struggled on defense. And Coach Hendricks has them now playing good. They're concentrating. They got their head in the game. So I look for good things coming up from them. They've got a tough schedule coming up. Still got to play the Bills. Still got to play the Jays. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Al. We'll keep in contact with you and hope it's a big time Warrior win.
I'm looking for that too. You guys get this one over there too. All right.
All right. Thanks, Al.
All right,
appreciate you. That is Al Breifogel on location for the Winamac Warriors just across the way, keeping us up to speed. Of course, we can root for the Warriors in that matchup. They're not playing one of our other area schools, so we can say go Warriors for the Boys Baseball Club. But in the softball matchup here tonight, 2 of our area teams are facing off against each other in the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays and the Winamac Lady Warriors. You never want to miss this rivalry matchup.
No, you don't. It's, historically – it's always been North Judson-Knox that's gotten a lot of attention. But I think especially in recent years, the North Judson-San Pierre Winamac rivalry has really taken off in my perspective. And somebody who has worked in Winamac for 13 years now and lives in North Judson, has lived there all my life, the number of people I see in the grocery store in Winamac from North Judson, the number of people at the hospital working at the hospital who live in North Judson, the number of people from North Judson who have ended up in the nursing homes here. There's been for a long
connection.
Time. Yeah, there is. So it's always fun to see these 2 teams come together. I think I told you this when we did a Winamac game last year. Brooke Roush's older sister was my intern one summer.
Yeah, you did. I remember that.
Obviously, Coach Baxter and I have known each other since we were wee little lads. So it's always
way back.
It's always exciting to watch these 2 teams come together.
Well, we do remind you, KVB is going to historic Wrigley Field to catch the Chicago Cubs take on the Cincinnati Reds Sunday, June 2nd. Hop on a chartered bus at KVB headquarters and be chauffeured all the way to the friendly confines. Enjoy all you can eat and drink. Yes, all you can eat and drink as we hang out on the historic rooftops. Call 574-772-6241 during regular business hours to save your seat and join KVB for Sunday Fun Day. Well, we thought we may not be able to get this game in. I'm not going to lie, I had some thoughts this morning. Boy, it may not happen, but it looks like the rain is going to hold off. I talked with Athletic Director Brian Leverins, and he wasn't worried at all, Nathan. He said with this new field, it drains very, very well. He said much better than obviously the baseball field does, which they will be working on after this season, where they will be redoing the infield of the baseball field. But as far as Athletic Director Brian Leverins was concerned, he knew this game was going to happen as long as it wasn't a torrential downpour, obviously. The field is in great condition. You look out, yes, it looks a little damp, but as they're standing out there in the infield, you see both head coaches with the umpires, Mr. and Mrs. Beck, going over what they want to see today. You can tell there's no water at their feet, obviously.
Yeah, it is dried up nicely. And I think we're in store for a very good game.
Yeah, I really do. These two teams, you talk about the Blue Jays coming into today probably a little hungry, probably a little disappointed with the performance that they've seen the last few games, knowing that they have the talent. And you pointed it out, just past the top three hitters, they have several hitters averaging 300 at the plate. That's very good.
They have just been putting the ball in play time and time again. They just don't always back their pitcher up enough.
Now, let me I'm going to test you here a little bit because I'm still learning as well here in year 2. Explain the ERA rating for those listeners and myself that don't really understand, quite frankly, what the ERA rating shows.
So I have to preface this by saying that I'm not sure if the same metric is used in high school sports where they only play 7 innings versus 9 innings. So it might be out of 7, but it is the number of earned runs given up by a pitcher over the course of divided by 9 innings or 7 innings as the case may be.
Sure.
An earned run being one where that pitcher is responsible for the runner who scored. So if Susie gets on base on an error and should have been thrown out at first base and she scores, the pitcher is going to be credited with that run, but not with that earned run. Same token, if Susie hits a base hit and the pitcher is pulled and Susie scores on a hit given up by the next pitcher is credited with the run, but the original pitcher is credited with the earned run because she's the one who put the runner on base.
So when you're talking numbers like we were seeing from Brody Winsler the other day, a .048, that means
that he has given up less than 1 run per either 7 or 9 innings average.
And when you see pitchers pitching, let's just say the Lady Jays right now, they are averaging on the mound a 2.92 ERA. So that's pretty good.
That is still pretty good. That's basically 3 runs a game. That
what
is
they're allowing.
Now, that doesn't include unearned runs. So the runs are given up because of errors. Those are some of the runs that are really hurting them maybe over a very respectable number of earned runs.
Interesting. Well, still learning. Appreciate the lesson.
Oh, I am always...
Any trivia you can share with us right now as well? Did you do any studying, preparing for today's game?
You know what? Actually...
You were busy.
No, it's not really trivia, I don't think, specific to this date or anything, but I was watching a Facebook reel from John Boy. They talk baseball all the time. About the time Albert Bell, when he was playing for the Baltimore Orioles, game was, I think, going into extra innings, and he got hit by a pitch, and he refused to take his base. His manager had to, because he just wanted to hit. He wanted to win the game.
Well, we pause.
They don't make baseball like that anymore.
No, they don't. We pause for our national anthem. We remind you every morning to join Rich Wallen on the WKVI Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 a.m. to 12 p.m. Central. Catch local news as well for our area with Kankakee Valley Broadcasting News Director Anita Gooden, who covers news on WYMR and WKVI. Catch our stories on WKVI.com and Max983.net to stay up to speed in your local area. We are in Winamac today as the Winamac Lady Warriors are hosting the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. The Winamac Lady Warriors, as we mentioned earlier on in this pregame show, the Coca-Cola pregame show, the Warriors come into today at 6-5 on the year, 1-2 in this conference, the Hoosier North Athletic Conference, and then same for the North Judson-San Pierre Blue Jays. They are also 1-2 in this conference. They are 5-3 on the year. 6-5 Warriors up against 5-3 Lady Jays. Like you said, it's going to probably turn out to be a very, very good afternoon of some high school softball here in Winamac.
I'm excited for it. I want to give a quick shout-out before things get underway. Coach Baxter's oldest daughter, Kennedy, who was a leader on this team last year, now wrapping up her freshman year in college. She is listening to the game tonight.
Wow.
We are glad to
thank you.
have her listening.
Yes, remember calling several of her games last year. We hope you are enjoying or have enjoyed your first year at college. Glad she's tuned in all the way. Where's she tuned in from?
I think she's down at ISU.
Oh, well, we
are
streaming
for
throughout the world.
any parents in the area who are interested, I believe she's going to be doing some softball training for younger girls this year, so they might want to look her up if they're looking for those skills improvements over the summer.
Oh, you just know a little bit of everything about the Baxters. Well, you did say you have been friends with him for a long, long time.
My mother is also listening.
Well, hello.
Hi, Mom. I've always wanted to do that.
There you did it. Well, everyone seems to be tuned in and listening for this big rivalry matchup. We will see Sophia Chafin step into the batter's box for the Lady Jays, and like we said, on the mound is Brooke Roush. Weren't able to get our game in on Friday due to the rain. We're glad to be back in action today as the first pitch offered from Roush is a called strike. Chafin's let it go by just to see what she had in store. Chafin's comes into today one of those batters over 300 on the year. She's a .333 batting average. She takes the next one. Ball outside, just misses. Correct me if I'm wrong. Chafin's was one of the lead. She may have been the leadoff last year.
She was. She is a very athletic catcher. I think Coach Baxter, if I recall, actually played a role in converting her to catcher.
Wow.
I think she used to be a middle infielder, and he wanted to move his daughter Emma out into the outfield and saw some potential in Sophia. And so, I mean, I think we saw this in maybe the game we did last week. When you've got a catcher who's athletic enough to be leading off, you're doing something right.
Well, and then you can assume once she gets on base, she is quick. As
Yes,
she
she is.
swings on the 3-1, fouled off. It's going to be a full count here. Lady Jays always doing a fantastic job with their cheers from the dugout. You can hear them. Lady Warriors also do a fantastic job doing that as well. The payoff hits the dirt, and that will be ball number 4. So their leadoff, Sophia Chafins, gets on first. So Reagan Hensley will be the number 2 hitter for the Lady Jays. Hensley comes into today a .409 batting average, and with a runner on, this is an opportunity for the Lady Jays here in the top of the first. Roush deals, ball inside. You saw Corinne Combs, catcher for the Warriors, bounce up real quick, checking on Chambers. They know she can get it going.
Hitting .409 and not even being in the top 3. Oh, wow.
Down the left field line. Diving for it was Lindsey Walters, but it misses her stretched glove. So it will be a base hit for Reagan Hensley, and that advances Chafins to 2, so a runner in scoring position.
That was a tough one. The infield is playing in a little bit, and if she had been a little bit deeper, that would have been a routine play, but it was just tough. She was just in far enough that it really made it tough to grab that one over her head.
Molly Madsen steps in, takes the first one. Ball called. She's a .353 batting average on the season. It'll be her 24th plate appearance of the season. Pitcher versus pitcher here, Nathan. Right-hander to right-hander, the 1-0. Up top. Oh, no, right in the zone. And it does find that inside corner for 1-1 here. Roush working on Madsen. Nobody out, 2 on. Swings and misses. 1-2 now for Molly Madsen. Had a spectacular year last year as a freshman.
This kid works. It certainly helps that her dad is Coach Madsen and Chris.
Yeah, one of the assistants.
And her stepdad is the softball coach up at Ancilla College.
I actually did not know that.
Softball is
that's in their family.
Yes, she actually played in Spain last summer.
Man, I wish I had known that. You know, of course, I remember in basketball season, Molly is on the team, and I remember they were warming up. She was running off the court, and she said, "Hey, Mitch, are you going to be at some of the games this year?" She said, "Book a couple more. You're in store for a good season."
She's confident.
Next pitch offered, swung on and missed for the strikeout. Chaffins advances to 3, and she slides in safe. Not only does she get to 3, Hensley gets to 2, so the Lady Jays are able to get both runners in scoring position off the Madsen strikeout.
Like to see that sort of aggressive base running early in the game. The earlier you can put runs on the board, the more comfortable you can be later in the game if you keep it up.
Anna Garbison now up to bat for the Lady Jays. She swings and misses for the first one from Roush. 0-1 the count. Garbison comes in today, a .591 batting average. She swings and misses on the next one for 0-2. We kind of saw a little bit of this at first against the Knox Lady Redskins from Roush. It took a little time for the Redskins to be able to get things rolling. It's hard to kind of gauge Roush as she delivers the 0-2. Popped up high, and tracking it down is the shortstop, Maggie Smith, keeping both runners at bay for out number 2 here in the top of the first. The cleanup hitter, or no, the number 5 hitter, my apologies, Brandy Frederick, second baseman, will step in to face Roush for the first time this evening.
Brandy is hitting .533 with an on-base percentage of .562. She is second best hitter on the team.
0-1 the count from Roush. Swings and misses.
She doesn't typically bat this high in the lineup. She's usually sort of a surprise burst lower in the lineup, but with Kenya Cooper out, Coach Baxter had to restructure things a bit.
Swung on right to Maggie Smith at short. She fires over to Brody Goodman, and they get the third out. Runners left stranded in the top of the first. It looks like it's going to be a fantastic afternoon of Hoosier North Athletic Conference softball rivalry action. From Winamac, we take a break. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to KVB's WKVI Sports.
On the way home from the game, a deer jumps in front of your truck. And now you've got to get that truck repaired. Make it easy on yourself. Take it to Mark's Body Shop. Mark's has done expert auto body service since 1998 and will work with you and your insurance provider for collision repair, custom body paint, and insurance work. And all work guaranteed by owner Mark Schell. Mark's Body Shop, proud to support high school sports. 772-7003.
This afternoon's broadcast is brought to you in part by Nepco Crane and Equipment Services, specializing in mobile crane service. Call Joe Nepp at 1-800-590-2272 for all your residential, commercial, and agricultural crane needs. We go to the bottom of the first. Mitch Columbia along with Nathan Orger. Scoreless. The North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays are taking on their Hoosier North Athletic Conference rival, the Winamac Lady Warriors. Pretty good work there at the top of the first.
Yeah, you know what? The Lady Jays threatened, but Brookie Cookie Roush was able to find her rhythm and get out of the jam.
I love it. Did you give her that nickname?
No, I did not. I picked that up when I used to umpire youth ball and did a couple of games Winamac played in.
That was her nickname.
Brookie Cookie.
Wow. Well, she's in the circle today. Did a very good job there at the top of the first. Now we will see in the bottom of the first, Molly Madsen, like Nathan said, the number one pitcher on this Lady Blue Jay team as a sophomore. A very tall individual as a sophomore.
Yeah.
She just is really an all-around athlete, and now she is in her favorite sport. This is her favorite time of year. She looks forward to softball season, and she will face off against the senior of Winamac, Maggie Smith, as Smith steps in, a left-handed hitter up against the right-handed Molly Madsen. Bunt shown and then pulled back late by Smith. Ball out, or no, they call a strike. So it does find the zone. Smith thought it may have been just a little outside. The 0-1 from Madsen. Good eye there. Ball one from Smith. Smith, a .407 batting average, her 30th plate appearance of the year. She does a very good job as the leadoff.
She's got the second base on-base percentage on the team behind Lindsay Walters.
Next pitch from Madsen outside, ball two now. Smith, we've talked about it before, a five-sport athlete here at Winamac. She's also on the track and field team here in the spring. She broke a record just a couple of weeks ago.
They just about ran out of room for all of her sports on her senior banner down the right field line on the fence there.
Signed her letter of intent to be on the track and field team at USI, I believe. She swings on the next pitch. It finds it to the hands of the shortstop for the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. That was Alyssa Lambert, and she got it over there to Reagan Hensley quite quickly.
Yeah, Lambert is one of two freshmen Coach Baxter has in the lineup tonight, along with Olivia Tim out in right field.
I almost wonder if she's related to
Coach Brett Lambert?
Yes.
That's her uncle.
Small world. Swung on and popped up high off the netting. This is Michaela Warner, the number 2 hitter for the Winamac Lady Warriors.
Batting .412 coming into today with a .444 on-base percentage. One of those top 3 offensive threats for Coach Belcher's Warriors.
Next pitch offered is outside, evening it up at 1-1 now for Warner. The 1-1 from Madsen. Just misses the zone. They call it a ball, and now you're hearing here in the bottom of the inning the Winamac Lady Warriors chants. It's the kind of atmosphere you get when you come to a softball game. A lot of excitement, energy, as the next pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. 2-2 now for Michaela Warner.
I'll tell you one thing I've learned both over the last couple of years doing this with you, doing the PA, and then umpiring Youth League is the softball, the dugout at a girls' softball game might be the only place on earth where people are more supportive than the ladies' restroom. I mean, they are just all in for each other. It's just...
That is a very, very interesting observation.
It's just truly impressive.
The 2-2 was popped up out of play, keeping it 2-2, and Werner's going to step back in. Madsen deals, popped up high, back to left field, over the head, and it will be a home run by Michaela Werner on the 2-2. She got all of it, and the entire Lady Warrior team empties the dugout and welcomes her home as the Lady Warriors are able to bring one run here in the bottom of the first.
She certainly got a hold of that one. That trajectory, you could tell that was not going to be something Emma Baxter was going to be able to pick up. She just rocked it.
Well, that is our first witnessed home run in softball, I think, this season.
I think you're right.
And it was here at the new softball field in Winamac, where we know the outfield is not as small as it was at the town park. This is a legit softball field here, as she really got all of it. We now see the number 3 hitter, Lauren Bruce, step into the batter's box. She's the designated player. She swings, gets a piece of it. It fouls up over our heads for 0-1 now. Next pitch offered. Ball 1. Bruce comes into today a very good .429 average. From what Max Prep says, this is her 8th plate appearance of the season. She swings on the 1-1 and misses, making it 1-2 now. Madsen trying to get warmed up here.
I got to tell you, Mitch, I don't know about you, but that aroma of popcorn wafting up from below us is really getting my attention.
If I could talk and eat at the same time, it'd be pretty awesome.
I can talk and eat. My wife just gets really mad when I do it.
It's rude.
That's what I hear.
Swung on right back to Madsen, and then she gets it over to first base for the out. And out number 2. Good job by Madsen gloving it and then getting it to Reagan Hensley. So now with 2 outs, nobody on, the Warriors were still able to jack that home run to get 1 run on the board. They lead 1-0, and now the cleanup hitter, Corinne Combs, steps into the box. .233 average on the year. This is her 35th plate appearance, the junior. Strike called. Upper portion of the plate just grazes that zone. .01 from Madsen. It's interesting, she's got a play call sheet on her wrist as the next offered pitch gets over the head of the shortstop and back to the center fielder, as Corinne Combs will get a base hit. She stands on first. Next up for the Winamac Lady Warriors.
Looks like we have a courtesy runner in for the catcher.
Oh, thank you. Number 25, Corinne Ulrich. So Ulrich will courtesy run for Combs, and now we see Maggie Keller, the right fielder, step in. Keller, a .258 batting average on the season. A freshman. This is her 36th plate appearance of the year. She takes the first one for a ball called. We remember naming her several times in the 2 games we've covered for the Winamac Lady Warriors against the West Central Lady Trojans and the Knox Lady Redskins. She gets a lot of action back there in right field, and as a freshman, she does a very good job. Next offered pitch, called strike, evening it up at 1-1 now to Maggie Keller. She checks down the third base line to manager Jenny Belcher. She gets the call, and here we go. Madsen. Strike called. 1-2. Madsen trying to get in a rhythm here. Kind of a gloomy day.
It is. And I think what you just hit on is going to be key for these Lady Jays. You know, obviously, as I talked pregame, the defense has to be there, but Molly needs to be in a rhythm. She is a very talented young pitcher, but if she kind of loses her focus and grounds out to Frederick to end the inning, but if she loses her focus, she can really, really lose it, and you hate to see that.
Yeah, grounder to second baseman Frederick. She gets it to Reagan Hensley for out number 3. So runner left stranded, but the Winamac Lady Warriors are able to bring a run across due to that big-time home run by Michaela Werner. We pause and come back for the top of the second. You are listening to KVB's WKVI.
When you grow up on the land, you have an appreciation for it. When you grow up and work on a family farm, on land that is shared by members of a family, all working together as a team, that appreciation grows even more. They know what it's like to work as a team to get the job done. At Lawrence Farms of Knox, Todd and Josh Lawrence and family support the local high school teams and wish them success all through the season.
This afternoon's broadcast is brought to you in part by First Farmers Bank and Trust, providing state-of-the-art banking with old-fashioned service. We thank them for supporting local high school sports and helping continue this tradition on KVB's WKVI. We go to the second inning. Mitch Columbia along with Nathan Orger. The Lady Warriors jacked a home run in the bottom of the first. They lead 1-0, and now the Lady Jays are up to bat to answer. But, man, what a job it was by the Winamac Lady Warriors.
It was, and you know what? Molly looked really good other than that one at bat. We got some good competition, and Virginia Chambers lays down a bunt right back to Roush, and Roush's throw just beats her.
Yeah, got it to Goodman for out number one. So one pitch here in the top of the second. And one out right off the bat for Brooke Roush. Look how easy, the one pitch, one out.
Here's Tim. I mentioned the last inning, one of the freshmen Coach Baxter has in the lineup. She has been getting, I think, progressively more playing time as the year has gone on.
Looks like a strike was called there for Tim. May have wanted a slap hit there.
She is getting to be known for this a little bit.
She steps back in, the left-handed hitter. Tried it again, swing and a miss. You see she starts way toward the back of the box and then gets her running start. You see how far back she is on her stance there.
Yep.
The 0-2, swing and a miss. Strike three and out number two. So Roush is coming into her own here in the second.
She is looking good.
Alyssa Lambert for the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays will step into the box. The shortstop comes into today a .350 batting average. It's her 23rd plate appearance of the season.
I got to tell you, decent crowd followed the Blue Jays over here from Stark County, but wow, the Winamac fans have really turned out tonight.
Yes.
Those bleachers are just about full.
You also see some fans out in the outfield. They have bleachers in the outfield down in left field. As a 1-1 here from Lambert, dealing from Roush. Outside, good eye by Lambert. Freshman on this team getting a lot of action. The 1-2, swung on and missed. And that is strike number three and out number three as Lambert goes down swinging. Quick work for the Winamac Lady Warriors. We take a break and come back for the bottom of the second. Coming your way, you're listening to KVB's WKVI.
At First Farmers Bank and Trust, agriculture has been a cornerstone of our business for more than 135 years. Our personal relationships within the ag community run deep for multiple generations. If you're looking for a financial partner that knows, understands, and supports agriculture, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Isaac Blue, Ag Banker at First Farmers. Come into our Knox, North Judson, or Culver branches, or visit us online at ffbt.com when you're ready to talk about growing your operation. First Farmers Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal opportunity lender.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Howard's Marathon of Winamac, serving Pulaski County for 44 years. Call 574-946-6894. Ask for Howard or Dean. We thank them for supporting local high school sports and being part of this wonderful tradition. We go to the bottom of the second. Fast work in the top for the Warriors. They are back up to bat now, Nathan, and they're looking really good, feeling confident.
Here comes Brooke Roush with the chance to help herself out.
Yeah, Roush will step in for her first plate appearance of the afternoon. We'll see the 6, 7, and 8 hitter for the Winamac Lady Warriors. The first pitch offered from Madsen is popped up foul. Roush, a .208 batting average, her 26th appearance of the season here. The 0-1 from Madsen, popped up high, back. Looks like the first baseman,
Reagan Hensley, has it.
Will make the play. It was going foul, so there it is. One out for the Jays, and the infield comes to congratulate Molly Madsen, getting the team morale up here. They need something to cheer about. You know, we've talked before with coaches, Nathan, sometimes giving up a home run can really rattle you as a pitcher.
Yes, it can.
But with Molly on the mound for him, she's confident. We now see Brody Goodman for the Warriors. It's a little dribble down the left field line.
And she beats it out.
My goodness. What? Chambers gloves it, slings it over to Hensley, but not in time. Goodman is fast. Wow.
So Lindsey Walters coming up the bat leads the team on base percentage 500. That is pretty solid. Trips to the plate she's making there.
She steps in, the left-handed hitter. Takes one low and in the dirt. Chaffins checks Goodman at 1 just to keep her at bay. Gets it back to Madsen here. 1-0, 1 out, 1 on.
I think Lindsay's dad was the third human being who I spoke with today.
That's very exact.
Well, I talked to my wife before I left for work. I guess I talked to 2 people in the McDonald's drive-thru when I grabbed breakfast. So her dad was the 4th person I talked to. I stand corrected.
Well, at that time, we didn't know if we were going to get the game in. You know, the forecast was saying rain all day. We really are so happy we're able to get this in right now. As Walters takes the next pitch, called strike, 1-2 now. Walters, a junior on this Winamac Lady Warrior team. Steps back in. Madsen, the 1-2. Oh, there goes Goodman at 2. Chaffins throws down, but not in time.
A little high on the throw. I'm not sure with a lower throw if she could have got her, but it would have been close.
Lambert came over to pick it off and tag Goodman, but just like you said, a little too high there. I think they were almost a little surprised she went this late in the count. 2-2 here. Ooh, just misses the zone. Walters let it go by. It's now a full count with a runner in scoring position and 1 out here in the bottom of the second. The Warriors are hoping to add to this 1-0 lead. Madsen, the payoff. Low and outside, and that will walk Walters. So very, very good patience from Lindsey Walters. She trots down to the first base. Gets a little, I think they give gum at first base. That's what assistant coach Stephanie Smith hands a player when they reach the base. They get some sort of gum or maybe sunflower seeds, I'm not sure. Oh, pitch gets over the head of Chambers. She had it almost, but that is enough time to advance Goodman to 3 and also Walters to 2. So now 2 runners in scoring position for the Warriors. .0 from Madsen to Izzy Decker. Slap hit down the left field line, goes foul. We remember Izzy Decker last year as a junior, a very, very talented softballer. She's now a senior, averaging a .259 at the plate. This is her 34th appearance of the season. She's looking at a 1-1 from Madsen here. Swung on. Nice job by the third baseman. Good
but
play.
But it drives Goodman in for another run.
Chambers gloves it, gets it over to Hensley for the out, but like Nate just said, that allows Goodman to get home. You almost call that a sacrifice RBI. Maybe?
I'd probably rule it a fielder's choice since I don't think the intent was there.
Fair. So 2 outs, but another run crosses for the Warriors here in the bottom of the second. We go back to the top of the batting order. It's Maggie Smith for her second appearance of the afternoon. I'm not... Oh, there it is. Runner on third with 2 outs. Smith steps back in. The 0-1 almost hit her. She ducks out of the way. It gets past Chaffins, and this is going to allow Lindsey Walters to advance all the way home and bring a second run across here in this inning for the Lady Warriors. If Smith didn't duck out of the way, it would have hit her in the head. 1-1 from Madsen to Maggie Smith. Outside, good eye. Maggie, a left-handed hitter. Such an aggressive stance. She checks down to manager Jenny Belcher and gets the call to step back in here. The 2-1 from Madsen. Swung on, popped up, out of play. Still scoreless from the Winamac Warriors boys baseball game. They are taking on Caston just across the way. Got the text from Al Breifogel. We'll be providing score updates as they happen, but right now it's scoreless. Back in our game, Smith gets through the legs of Molly Madsen. It goes all the way back to center field, so Maggie Smith will get a base hit here. Almost thought Madsen gloved it.
Yeah, she looked pretty disgusted with herself.
So Smith gets on. We'll now see Michaela Warner, and this is who had the big-time home run in the bottom of the first. She will now step into the box for her second appearance this afternoon.
Oh, man, now those grilled grilled pork and hot dogs are really getting to me. That
Warner
one is not going to have the distance.
Popped up high, and the second baseman tracks it down. Brandy Frederick for out number 3. Madsen gets out of the inning, but 2 runs cross for the Warriors. They lead 3-0. We take a break and come back. Top of the third coming your way. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Howard's Marathon in Winamac has a reputation built on getting things done right. With 30 years' experience as an ASE Master Auto Technician, Dean Wentz is the right choice for the auto repairs or service. From auto computer diagnostic checks to new batteries and tires, they can take care of it all. Howard's Marathon is a proud supporter of area high school sports and wishes all teams a great season. Howard's Marathon, 121 South Monticello Street in Winamac. Call 574-946-6894.
Continuing the tradition here on KVB's WKVI, Mitch Columbia along with Nathan Orger. We are here at the beautiful Lady Warriors softball field in Winamac, Indiana, as the Winamac Lady Warriors lead the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays 3-0. We have an opportunity now to talk with Al Breifogel, who is across the way, getting an update on the Winamac Warriors Baseball Club. Al, what do you have?
Well, Warriors batting in the bottom of the fourth. Wyatt Wheeler coaxed a walk out of the pitcher, went to second base on a pass ball, and then Braden Mathias came up, drilled one to the gap, scoring Wyatt Wheeler. So the Warriors are up 1-0 right now. Still a runner on second, only one out.
All right, we appreciate it, Al. We'll get back with you in a bit.
All right.
That's Al Breifogel reporting the Warriors Baseball Club gets a run across as they lead Caston now 1-0. Back in our game, as I mentioned, the Lady Warriors lead the Lady Jays 3-0. And now we will see step into the batter's box for the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays is Emma Baxter, the number 9 hitter. She swings on the first pitch offered. It's popped up. It gets over the head of the second baseman, Izzy Decker, and it will drop in for a nice little duck snort there.
Yes, and that is not just a duck snort, that is a royal duck snort, because Emma Baxter was just named one of the 2 prom queens at NJSB this weekend.
Well, I missed that. Thank you for alerting me. I did know that their prom was this past Saturday. As now we go back to the top of the batting order for the Lady Jays, it's Sophia Chaffins. She swings on the first pitch offered.
The royal duck snort.
The royal duck snort. I waited 360 some odd days to say that saying from last year. You realize that, right?
Yes.
The 0-1 Swung on by Chafin's dribbler down the third base line. Walters gets it, slings it over to Brody Goodman for out number 1, but it does advance Emma Baxter to 2. So a runner in scoring position for the Lady Jays and 1 out here in the top of the third. We will now see Reagan Hensley step in for her second appearance to face Brooke Roush, who is really doing a very good job for these Lady Warriors.
She really has maintained control. She's given up 1 clean hit, maybe 2, depending on how you rule Emma's little duck snort. She has kept the Lady Jays at bay so far.
Roush delivers. Popped up high by Hensley. Back to left field. It falls right in front of the left fielder. Now we've got a pickle going on between 2 and 3. Baxter's going to slide into 3, and she's safe. And that is enough time to allow Hensley to get a double on the play. My goodness. A lot of action that just happened there in the last 15 seconds.
Wow, yeah.
I think the Lady Warriors were thinking they were going to be able to get Emma, who was maybe being a little overzealous by going to 3. But because of the bobble, that allowed Baxter to get there cleanly.
Mad Dog Madsen fouls the first pitch from Roush back towards us.
How many pitches is that in this inning for Roush? Next one called strike 0-2 now.
Only about 5 or 6.
Yeah,
they've been biting pretty quickly.
0-2 from Roush. Quick work to Madsen. Inside, good eye by Madsen, and I believe she was not able to get on base her first appearance.
She struck out her first trip to the plate.
Being patient, she steps back in as Roush is set to deal the 1-2. Inside, she is trying to graze the inner portion of the plate, and she just misses it there. So now 2-2 here, with the 2 runners in scoring position for the Lady Jays and 1 out. Swung on and missed. Strike 3, and Madsen goes down swinging. She wanted it, as that is out number 2. We will then see Anna Garbison, the center fielder, cleanup hitter, step into the box.
And next up to that is number 13, Garbison.
Anna Garbison takes the first pitch for a ball up top. She was also one of those fantastic basketball players for the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays this past season. An all-around athlete for the Lady Jays. She gets a hold of
robbed.
it.
She got robbed.
And Brody Goodman had cat-like reflexes and gets the third out. 2 runners left stranded. We take a break and come back. Bottom of the third is coming your way. You're listening to KVB's WKVI.
It takes smart planning by a skilled expert to get you just the right heating, cooling, and energy-efficient system for your home. McGrath Refrigeration can install an affordable Armstrong air system that will cut your energy costs while enhancing your comfort. You'll see the difference in your first energy bill. Give McGrath Refrigeration, your local Armstrong dealer, a call today at 574-772-3575. That's 574-772-3575. McGrath Refrigeration, where the temperature is always just right.
Zingo Express of Knox is a proud sponsor of tonight's action. Stop by Zingo Express in Knox and fuel up both you and your vehicle the Zingo Express way. Mark's Body Shop in Knox is also proud to be part of the broadcast this evening. If you ever need collision repair, contact Mark at 574-772-7003. 3-0, the Winamac Lady Warriors lead the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. We have Nathan Orgers, our sports analyst this afternoon. Something that's sticking out to you so far in this game?
You know, I think it's really been Brooke Roush's pitching. Molly's been decent, but she's gotten rattled a couple of times. Brooke has maintained her composure.
as Lauren Bruce swings on the first pitch offered, goes right down the third base line, picked up by the third baseman, Virginia Chambers, and she gets it over to Reagan Hensley for a fast out.
And so I really think that's the difference. You know, one run, that home run, there was nothing you could do about it. Just a good pitch, and Werner took advantage of it. But I think the difference in the game so far really has been Roush is able to keep composed while Madsen has lost her focus a little bit. I think if she can get back into the rhythm, and that was a good start, that first pitch out, things will stay competitive.
We see Corinne Combs taking the first one for a called strike from Madsen. I believe this is her second appearance of the afternoon.
Yep.
She gets a hold of one back to left field, and it will be a home run by Corinne Combs. Another home run for the Winamac Lady Warriors. This will make it 4-0 over the Lady Jays. They are feeling good here in their home. I mean, they feel confident here at their home field.
Yeah, they really do.
The Lady Jays right now, this is their first time playing at Lady Warrior softball field. The new softball field can be a little intimidating for how fancy it really is, Nathan. I mean, it is such a high-class facility.
Yeah.
It's a little intimidating.
And you know what? It's new. Nobody other than these Winamac girls who have been practicing on it and playing all the home games, they've never seen it before. You know, a softball field is a softball field is a softball field is, but it isn't. You know, there's from differences in the levelness of the ground to the fence depth to the accommodations in the dugout to just being in a different place. You know, baseball is 99 and softball 99% mental.
Well, and just with talking with head coach Belcher, you know, she said we've never had a warning track before this year. As here's Maggie Keller getting a grounder to second base. Nice job by Brandy Frederick. She gets it over to Reagan Hensley for out number 2. But yeah, so many updates.
Yeah.
Just from one year to the other.
I will mention, you know, I've been watching Brandy Frederick the last couple of years, and she has worked really hard to improve her defensive skills. Like I said, she's usually the designated player, but she has looked very comfortable at second base tonight. Credit to her.
Roush is now in the box for the Winamac Lady Warriors. She's the number 6 hitter. She swings and gets a piece of the first one. Foul tip. Strike one is now called. 0-1 the count. 4-0. They lead here in the bottom of the third. Madsen, the 0-1. And that will be a called strike. So now 0-2 the count here for Madsen to Brooke Roush. Popped up, and it will be a blooper into center field, and that is a base hit for Brooke Roush. 63 degrees here in Winamac, Indiana. A warmer day, but still gray, scattered gray skies. Kind of a gloomy day here in Winamac, Indiana, as now we'll see Brody Goodman step into the batter's box with a runner on first, 2 outs.
Gloomy? There's softball being played. There's nothing gloomy about this at all, my friend.
Goodman swings on it, and it will get over the head of Molly Madsen and drop in front of the shortstop. Now there goes the runner at 2-3. She slides in safe. She will now advance home. Goodman's going to try to get a triple out of this. She slides in head first. It's an RBI triple on error, I would say.
I don't even know what just happened there.
The shortstop for the Lady Jays, Alyssa Lambert, picks it up, and in the middle of that, Goodman gets to 2 and thought, why not? I'm going for 3. She goes to 3. They tried to throw down to the third baseman. No one was there. She slides in, gets up, then runs home. Or not Goodman, Roush, my apologies. Goodman's on 3. So that is how Goodman got to 3 off the error. allowing 1 run to cross now. 5-0, the Lady Warriors lead. And this is Lindsay Walters here for the Winamac Lady Warriors. She pops one up, and the third out will be grabbed by the third baseman, Virginia Chambers, as the Lady Jays get out of the inning. But runs cross, 5-0, the Lady Warriors lead. We're going to take a break and come back. Top of the 4th coming your way. You're listening to KVB's WKVI.
The key to high-yielding crops is accurate and dependable soil testing. This is Andy Awald of Farm Fertilizers and Seeds. Having the right information to make the most profitable fertility decisions is what Image Services from Farm Fertilizers and Seeds is all about. We combine cutting-edge technology and computerized record-keeping with a common-sense approach to soil sampling and fertilizer recommendations. Whether it be by management zone for field-level applications or grid-based for variable rate applications, count on Image Services by Farm Fertilizers and Seeds for your soil service needs this fall.
We thank Farm Fertilizer for sponsoring tonight's broadcast. Call them at 574-867-2441. That's Farm Fertilizer, helping to move the bar on yield and crop investment returns. Top of the 4th. Here from Winamac, Indiana, as the Winamac Lady Warriors Softball Club leads the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays 5-0. Mitch Columby along with Nathan Orger. And the Lady Warriors are just having their way right now.
Oh, unfortunately, this is exactly what we talked about pre-game. The Lady Jays are making some mental mistakes. That ball dropped right between the mound and second base. Maybe somebody should have had it, maybe somebody shouldn't. But losing your focus and launching it to third when nobody was there, that's just the sort of mistake you cannot afford to make when you're already behind a couple of runs.
We're going to see the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Lady Jays. It's Brandy Frederick taking the first pitch from Roush. Inside, ball called. Roush, a commanding performance so far. Deals the 1-0. Hits the dirt, ball 2. Not a drop of rain so far since we've started this game. A few sprinkles when I got here around 3 Eastern, 2 Central. But since about 3:30, it has not rained at all.
It is perfect softball weather.
The 2-0 up top and outside for ball 3.
It's been a pretty quick game.
It really has. As the next pitch offered will be a ball outside, and Roush now walks Frederick. 4 straight pitches, 4 straight balls. I think that's the first time we've seen that from her this evening.
Yeah, that is the first real slip and control we've seen from Brooke.
So now the number 6 hitter, Virginia Chambers, steps in. First pitch offered from Roush, right down the pike, strike 1.
Man, that one sounded like a strike. I can't explain what I mean when I say that ball hitting the letter felt like it sounded like a strike, but that sounded like a strike.
Grounder to Brody Goodman. She tags 1, now throws down to Maggie Smith at 2, but sliding in safe is Brandy Frederick. My goodness. Goodman and Smith, I don't think being on the same page is putting it quite as eloquently as it was done. They just really were of the same mind on that play. You can tell some of these girls, they just have played together for a long time. As here's a bunt shown by Olivia Tim. Fouls off for strike 1 now. Oh, 1 count. Roush to deliver. Bunt shown again. Strike called as it misses. So now 0-2 the count. She was all in for that bunt, and the pitch just missed. We look across the way and see the Warriors Baseball Club brought another run across. They lead 2-0 in the 6th. We'll catch up with Al Breifogel in a bit. But back in our game, the next pitch offered is a ball. Still showing bunt is Tim, but she pulled it at the last second. 1-2 now the count. Ooh, she got a piece of it. So she stays alive here at 1-2. Runner in scoring position, the 1-2. Ooh, right back to Brow. She throws over to Goodman, doing the splits. Gets the catch, but not in time. My goodness. Brody Goodman literally just did the splits as she caught that from Brooke Roush, but it wasn't in time as Olivia Tim gets on base.
That is how Olivia Tim has a .429 batting average coming in today. You know, she will make that work for herself.
Wow. If that was a called out, that would have been a candidate for play of the game.
Pretty close.
My goodness. Goodman showing off the athleticism here as the first pitch offered from Roush to Alyssa Lambert is a strike. Runners in the corners for the Jays. 0-1. There goes the runner to take two. The cutoff man, Maggie Smith, now throws home to Combs. Goodman to back it up at home. This team is well-oiled defensively.
Yes, they are. They, you know, they surrendered that base runner, but with a 5-0 lead, it doesn't matter a whole lot right now. And she picked that off perfectly to hold Frederick at third.
So now 2 runners in scoring position. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and Lambert goes down swinging. This is the moment the Jays need. Emma Baxter will step up, the number 9 hitter. She has an opportunity to bring 2 home. Emma Baxter swings on the first pitch offered, popped up back to right field, and Maggie Keller will get the third out. Good job by the freshman, leaving 2 stranded for the Lady Jays. It stays 5-0. The Winamac Lady Warriors lead. This is the 4th inning stretch. The 4th inning stretch is sponsored by Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning. They are helping continue this wonderful tradition on KVB's WKVI. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give third-generation owner Brian Hammond a call at 574-936-4660, serving the local area since 1936. We appreciate Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, as this is the Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning 4th inning stretch.
Since 1936, Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning have always taken pride in doing the job right. Third-generation owner Brian Hammond and his family have always set the standard when it comes to taking care of all your heating and cooling needs. Making your home a comfortable home is the absolute top priority. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give them a call at 574-936-4660. Follow them on Facebook. Let Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning help you take control of your comfort.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Culver's Portside Marina. Spring is here. Get your boat serviced and ready for the summer. Godfrey Pontoons, Yamaha Wave Runners, and Kawasaki Jet Skis are on the showroom floor waiting. Slip rentals, boat storage, and self-service fuel pumps will all be available this season at Bass Lake. Call them at 574-842-5000. That's Culver's Portside Marina. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Winamac Lady Warriors are in control, 5-0. It's Izzy Decker taking the first pitch for ball, swings on the second. It's a grounder to the second baseman. Good job there by Brandy Frederick, getting it over to Reagan Hensley for out number 1. Quick work there for the Lady Jays. That's kind of what they need to be doing here, I would say, at this portion of the game. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong.
No,
but now's the time to tighten it down a little bit.
Absolutely.
It's Maggie Smith now for her third plate appearance. We go back to the top of the batting order. She shows bunt, It foul tips out of play. 0-1 now for Smith. When you're going through the batting order like this, getting as many swings as you can per game, this is only helping, I can assume. As the next pitch offered is a called strike, making it 0-2 now for Maggie Smith, behind in the count. Madsen trying to make magic happen here.
You're right with what you said, Mitch. The more times the Warriors go through the lineup, the more comfortable they're going to be, and they're going to prolong it.
Chopper to Lambert at short. She gets it over to Hensley, but not in time. And there is, standing in on first, Maggie Smith. You just can't tell her no, as she's now, that's big league chew. They are giving big league bubblegum chew to each Warrior that makes it on base. That's what Coach Stephanie Smith has in her pocket there. She just hands it to her daughter, Maggie Smith. Good job. Now let's get some more. Madsen deals the first pitch to Michaela Warner. It's fouled off down the left field line. One out here in the bottom of the fourth. 5-0, the Lady Warriors lead.
And that Winamac dugout and that North Judson dugout, they are both making a lot of noise right now. That scoreboard may say 5-0, but both teams are still mentally in this game. They are supporting their players on the field, and it's what you like to see.
The 0-2 to Warner. Swung on and fouled off out of play. Madsen deals. Warner swings and misses for strike 3 and out number 2. Madsen, you see it. She still got it, from what we saw last year as a freshman. It's kind of like you said, when she is having to pitch almost every game, you can kind of tell she's just being weathered here. Is now a deep hit by number 18 for the Winamac Lady Warriors. Lauren Bruce gets all the way back to the fence between left and center. It brings Maggie Smith all the way around from first to home, and it will be an RBI double for Lauren Bruce, the designated player.
Yeah, you know what? She had kept both of her previous at-bats into the infield. Looks like she finally connected with something. I thought Madsen might have been turning things around. That was the first strikeout she has recorded all game.
Which is rare.
Lauren Bruce apparently felt the need to mess with that rhythm just a little bit.
So now in the box is Corinne Combs. 0-1 count to her from Madsen with 2 outs. Runner in scoring position. She pops one back to right field, and it will be gloved by the right fielder. A nice basket catch by Olivia Tim for out number 3. A runner left stranded, but the Winamac Lady Warriors are able to bring one across. They lead 6-0. We pause and come back. Top of the 5th is coming your way. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Real magic is everywhere. It's in your mom's cooking, in 4-hour dinners with friends, in that first bite of something new, and in the fizz of a Coca-Cola. Now with so many options for less than $5, the Coca-Cola Value Collection will help you make the most out of every magic moment for so much less. Taste the magic for less with Coca-Cola.
Back at Lady Warrior softball field, 6-0 as the Lady Warriors lead their HNAC rival, the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. Mitch Columbia along with sports analyst Nathan Orger. The rain has held off. We have seen a fantastic performance up to this point on the mound for Brooke Roush. We now have an opportunity, though, to catch up with Al Breifogel, who is just across the way here in Winamac, seeing the Winamac Warriors take on the Caston Comets. Al, what's the update?
Okay, buddy, we're going to the top of the 7th. The Warriors are up 2-0. It's been that bend but not break type of game. Addison Allen has gutted it out on the mound the whole game. Caston's left 13 runners on base.
Wow.
Twice they ended an inning with the bases loaded. So the defense has been there. Caston's been making contact. We've been catching the ball. Defense has held up. And like I say, Addison has just really gutted it out. It's one of them games where he's just really had to pick and peck away at the plate. So 2-0, top of the 7th. All we got to do is hold them.
Sounds like the confidence is continuing for the Warriors, Al.
Yeah, it really is. And as they're coming off the field, Coach Hendricks meets them and they go over what could have happened in that inning or base running or whatever. But they've really picked it up on defense. Really played a good defensive game again tonight.
All right, Al, we'll keep in contact. Stay tuned.
Okay.
All right, that's Al Breifogel checking out the Winamac Warriors baseball game as they lead the Caston Comets. But back in our game, it is Sophia Chaffins getting a line drive, grounder, to Brody Goodman, and she tags first base for out number 1 here in the top of the 5th. Right now, both Warrior ball clubs are in control. Baseball leading Caston, and here softball leading the Lady Jays, as here is number 3, Reagan Hensley getting a grounder to third, and that is Lindsey Walters getting it over to Brody Goodman quickly for out number 2, and now here is Molly Madsen's third plate appearance of the afternoon. I think she's due.
I absolutely agree, Mitch. She really needs to be due if she's going to have a chance at winning this game, getting the Lady Jays back in this game at all. She struck out twice, and it's time for her to put that barrel on that ball.
She takes the first pitch from Roush. Ball outside. Good eye there from Madsen. She looks down to manager Gary Baxter to get the call, and she'll step back in. The 1-0. Grounder down to the third baseman. Slings it over to Brody Goodman. 3 up and 3 down. Fast work for the Lady Warriors. We pause and come back. Bottom of the 5th is coming your way. 6-0. The Lady Warriors lead the Lady Jays. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
BP gasoline with Invigorate helps clean your engine and can give you more miles per tank. Continuous use may result in the following pleasant side effects: excessive smiling, feeling more relaxed, taking more drives just because, volunteering for carpool twice in a row, and bragging to your friends about how you use our best fuel ever. To find out if BP gasoline with Invigorate is right for you, stop by your local station to discover our best fuel ever. Versus minimum detergent gas. Average restored 3 to 5 miles per tank, based on fleet testing and based on what you drive and how you drive.
High school sports brought to you by Zingo Express.
Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack in Winamac is proud to be part of the broadcast this evening. Web Printing and JT Shirt Shack provides all your printing, screen printing, apparel, and embroidery needs. Call 574-946-3551 and ask for Tina if you want to look cool like the KVB crew. We appreciate them and their support toward helping continue the tradition. 6-0. The Winamac Lady Warriors lead the Lady Jays of North Judson-San Pierre. And my gosh, the Lady Warriors,
they're dominating.
Fan base showed up. They're dominating too.
Yes, they are.
As Molly Madsen still on the mound for the Lady Jays, it's Maggie Keller in the batter's box for her third plate appearance of the afternoon, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not. She is grounded out to second both times.
Swings on the 0-1.
Oh.
Almost handled by Brandy Frederick, but then it just gets away from her, allowing Maggie Keller to get on first by error.
That's definitely an error on Frederick. Brandy has looked good tonight, but that one was a little bit tough for her. Just like I said, though, every single at bat, Keller has taken it to second base, and she finally got the better of Brandy.
You remember, she's just a freshman. Bunt shown by Roush, gets past the catcher. Keller advances to 2, but they're saying she got a piece of it. Roush did, so that'll bring Keller back. Keller, just a freshman. It's really kind of amazing. The last couple of years, just broadcasting these games, I've realized how many freshmen and sophomores are very good athletes in this area. As the next offered pitch, a lot of freshmen and sophomores in this area. Next offered pitch from Madsen, swing and a miss by Roush for strike 2. Pitcher versus pitcher here, right-hander to right-hander. A little bit of a duel now.
Roush popped out to Reagan Hensley at first base her first time up, and she singled to center, and she just flew out to center.
So Keller will trot back to first for the first out is now complete in this bottom of the 5th, where Molly Madsen is trying to do her best and not letting any more Lady Warriors cross home plate. But now we'll see Brody Goodman, the number 7 hitter.
Goodman singled on a little dribbler towards the short third gap and scored in the second, and then she made it all the way to third on that sloppy play in the third where she just dropped it between the mound and second, and the shortstop launched it to an unmanned third base.
And Goodman was allowed to get there. 0-1 now for Goodman. Madsen deals, popped up high, back to center field, and it is gloved. Now she'll throw back to first to tag Keller, but not in time. She slides in safe. But a good job by center fielder Anna Garbison to track it down. That's 2 outs in a row for her in this bottom half inning.
Next up, we got number 16, Lindsay Walters.
So Lindsay Walters will step in for her third appearance of the afternoon to face Molly Madsen.
She has walked and lined out to Virginia Chambers at third base.
Madsen deals, outside ball called, 2 outs, 1 on, bottom of the 5th, 6-0. The Winamac Lady Warriors lead, and then across the way, the Winamac Warriors Baseball Club leads Caston 2-0 in the 7th. But back in our game, Walters swings and misses on the next pitch, evening it up at 1-1 now. The 1-1. Bunt shown. It will go foul. Bringing Keller back to 1. And Walters facing a 1-2. Madsen set to go. Outside, ball 2 called, trying to get Walters to chase. Walters a left-handed hitter. The 2-2 from Madsen. Ooh, called strike and strike 3. She went down looking, and that is out number 3 as we will pause and come back. Top of the 6th action is coming your way. 6-0. The Winamac Lady Warriors lead the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays.
It takes smart planning by a skilled expert to get you just the right heating, cooling, and energy-efficient system for your home. McGrath Refrigeration can install an affordable Armstrong air system that will cut your energy costs while enhancing your comfort. You'll see the difference in your first energy bill. Give McGrath Refrigeration, your local Armstrong dealer, a call today at 574-772-3575. That's 574-772-3575. McGrath Refrigeration, where the temperature is always just right.
Tonight's game is brought to you in part by Todd and Josh Lawrence of Lawrence Farms. We thank Todd and Josh Lawrence for supporting local high school sports. Mitch Columbia along with sports analyst Nathan Orger. We are so glad that this game is going to get in full. We were thinking it was going to rain, but boy, has it held off for a great day of Indiana high school softball rivalry action. The Lady Warriors are in control. 6-0 right now over the Lady Jays, and you kind of hit it on earlier, Nathan. It's really just been up to what Lady J team is going to show up. Really, you know, the Warriors have done a great job. Nothing to take away from them, but also there have been some issues that the Jays have, you said, been working on. We've talked with Gary Baxter before. It's just things that are unfortunately happening to them right now. But yes, the Warriors have been able to turn it on, as right there swinging on the first pitch is Anna Garbison right to the shortstop Maggie Smith. She gets it to to Brody Goodman for out number 1. But, yeah, like you said, it's kind of really up to the Lady Jays on how they are going to react off of the unfortunate events they've seen.
Brandy Frederick steps up to the plate. Second baseman has grounded out to the shortstop and reached on a walk.
She swings and misses the first pitch offered from Brooke Roush, who has just been dominant for the Lady Warriors today. The next offered pitch finds the zone as Frederick lets it blow by for strike 2. Roush deals. Just misses the same spot she grazed a moment ago, making it 1-2 now. The 1-2. Chopper to Walters at 3. She gets it to Goodman, and that is out number 2. Fast work. The defense for the Warriors really coming into their own. You didn't get a chance to see them against the West Central Lady Trojans.
I did not, but I hear that was quite the game.
Well, and really, if you think about it, we talked with head coach Belcher. It took the majority of that game before the Lady Warriors were able to get going. Same thing happened the following night to the Knox Lady Redskins, where they unfortunately fell to the Redskins. Now in this game, they got out ahead and early. They did not wait until the 6th or 7th inning to get going. The Warriors really, this is a different ball club than what we just saw just a week and a half ago.
A home run in the second at bat really can set the tone, and we have seen that tonight.
Virginia Chambers is in the box. She takes the next pitch, ball called, evens it up at 1-1 here with nobody on and 2 outs. Top of the 6th. It's really counting down the at-bats here for the Lady Jays before it may be too late. They need to get something going here in this inning and not leave it all up to the top of the 7th to finish. The 1-2. Foul tip by Chambers. Roush deals. Chopper right back to Roush, throws over to Goodman, and that is out number 3 and the top of the 6th. We'll take a break and come back, bottom of the 6th. Coming your way, you're listening to KVB's WKVI.
Have you ever wondered how much I could sell my vehicle for? Well, Auto Park Chevrolet GMC can help with that. We're looking to buy your vehicle. It is a quick, simple process that puts money in your pocket. Stop by the Auto Park on Oak Road for one of our sales professionals to assess your vehicle and have a cash price for you in moments. If you're looking to trade, we have stacks of inventory for you to choose from, or you can walk away with a check in hand. Don't hassle with listing on Marketplace or waiting forever to sell it privately. Let us make you an offer today. Auto Park Chevrolet GMC. Check us out at www.autoparkchevroletbuickgmc.com or call 574-936-5590 or come to see us next to Walmart in Plymouth.
Continuing the tradition here on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting, as WKVI will always be there. 6-0, bottom of the 6th. The Warriors lead the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. I am Mitch Columbia along with sports analyst Nathan Orger. It's been all Warriors today. We really haven't had a chance to see the Jays provide probably the type of atmosphere they want to see for themselves.
They have really not been hitting the way they have been all season. I don't know.
And you've seen them.
Yes, I have. And tonight they're just not putting on that hitting clinic. Decker steps up, tries to bunt her way on, and takes a strike. But this is really do or die, If they cannot hold Winamac.
And Decker gets a dribbler down to the third baseman. She gets it over to Hensley, but not in time, as she will get on base for a single. It looks like across the way, Caston was able to get on the board. Let's check in with Al Breifogel and see what happened. Al, how did they get that run across?
Well, I got the run across in the top of the 7th. Brought Cody Wheeler in to relief pitch going into the 7th inning. Caston put some runners on base. They did get one on a sacrifice fly, and then we got them out to get the 2-1 victory. So big conference win tonight. Warriors played pretty good defense again, like I said. Had the bats going. So here we go, 2-1 Warriors.
All right, thanks, Al. Back in our game, a huge hit by Maggie Smith back to right center field. She stands in with a double, and that advanced Izzy Decker all the way to 3. My goodness, she got all of that one.
Yeah, she did. That was just about as close to the fence as you can hit it without making a round trip.
My goodness, at the town park, that'd have been a home run. Maggie Smith, and now Warner pops one up high to center field. It will be gloved. Tagging up is Izzy Decker at third, and she'll bring another run across. So now it's 7-0. The Lady Warriors lead. And Maggie Smith stays standing in on 2 with 1 out. Madsen still on the mound. Fighting through some adversity here this afternoon in Winamac. We now see Lauren Bruce step into the box. Takes the first pitch. Grazes that outside corner for strike 1. And correct me if I'm wrong, is this their 4th plate appearance? Are we going through the batting order for the 4th time this afternoon?
You are correct.
0-1 from Madsen. Chopper to third, slings it over to first. Tinsley gets the out. Advancing to 3 is Maggie Smith. She's there safely. So now Maggie is not far from scoring a run here. They've already brought 1 across here in the bottom of the 6th. It'll really be all up to the top of the 7th for the Lady Jays to either come back and tie it or take the lead. If they are unable to do that, this game will end in the top of the 7th. Big hit, Corinne Combs back to center field, and it's gone. It's a 2-run homer for Corinne Combs. They are running.
Won't need to worry about a courtesy runner for Combs this time.
They are running away with it, 9-0 now. It has been the Lady Warriors' day from the get-go. The entire dugout empties out to welcome Combs home. This is just a game you just don't want to remember if you're the Lady Jays. You're just going to have to put it in the rear view at this point.
Yep.
Not to say you can't get 9 runs in an inning, but it just gets harder each run that crosses at this point.
You are not wrong, and it's not just the physically having to do that, but you get this late into the game, and you see the numbers keep piling up on the scoreboard. It's easy to get dejected and to lose steam that you need to plow through.
Maggie Keller in the box takes first pitch, called strike with 2 outs, nobody on. It is 9-0, isn't it? Oh-1 to Keller inside on the hands. They call it a strike though, so now 0-2 with 2 outs. Madsen deals. Keller gets a piece. Fouled off to the right. Out of play. We heard from Al Breifogel a few moments ago. It was a huge win tonight for the Winamac Warriors, 2-1. We sure do appreciate Al and his time for giving us those up-to-date and in-moment reactions. As now here's a chopper back to Madsen, gets past her glove, picked up by Lambert at short, then she drops it, and then the second baseman, Brandy Frederick, picks it up. It's too late. Maggie Keller is going to get to first. But yes, that right there sums up the Lady Jays afternoon, I think. Just been a frustrating
Looks
one.
like we have a pinch hitter.
Hall, Adriana Hall. She'll step in. They are confirming the pinch hitter with the Blue Jays dugout, and now they are set to go. With 2 outs, 1 on, Maggie Keller being on first. 9-0, the Lady Warriors lead here. foul tip by Hall. Also another score update, the Culver Cavs Baseball Club comes up short against Pioneer. 6-4 was the final. Appreciate assistant coach Paul Dunn for getting me that. He said, we are coming along, and they made good contact tonight, being the Culver Cavs. Tough loss, but they are coming around. As back in our game, Hall takes the next pitch offered inside at the hands, evening it up at 1-1 here. Hall gets a piece of it. It falls in front of Alyssa Lambert. She picks it up at short, but not in time. Hall gets the first safely. So now a runner in scoring position on 2, being Maggie Keller. Adriana Hall gets a base hit, and now Brody Goodman will stand in the box. She has had a nice afternoon defensively at first. She now steps in for her 4th plate appearance of the afternoon.
She is singled, reached on an error, and flown out to center.
Takes the first pitch for a called strike. Her 31st plate appearance of the season, 4th today. 0-1 from Madsen. Misses the zone, evening it up at 1-1. Next pitch, Brody, grounder to second, and they get the out for out number 3, leaving a couple runners stranded, but the Lady Warriors are in control right now, 9-0. It's all up to the top of the 7th to see if the Lady Jays can make something happen. We take a break and come back. You're listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Culver's Portside Marina handles all water and recreational needs. When it comes to pontoons, Godfrey leads the industry in performance and quality, and Portside Marina has them in stock. From Sanpan, Aqua Patio, Sweetwater, and Monaco pontoons, if you're looking for a family boat, Culver's Portside Marina can help. Discover the evolution of the wake boat through luxury models offered from Centurion and Supreme Surf Boats. Yamaha Wave Runners and Kawasaki jet skis are on the showroom floor waiting. Located at 514 West Mill Street in Culver. Stop in or call them at 574-842-5000. Culver's Portside Marina.
Back at Warrior softball field, Mitch Columbia along with sports analyst Nathan Orger. We go to the 7th inning. 9-0. The Winamac Lady Warriors lead the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. As we are so glad you've joined us, tonight's broadcast is brought to you in part by Nepco Crane and Equipment Services, specializing in mobile crane service. Call Joe Nepp at 1-800-590-2272 for all your residential, commercial, and agricultural crane needs. Well, we have a special guest up here in the beautiful new press box at Warrior softball field. He was the public address announcer for the Warriors baseball win tonight over Caston. I think they found their PA announcer. What do you think, Coach Mike Springer?
Hey, they pay me a bubble gum, so I'll do it. The boys look good tonight. 2-1 win. Got a little too many walks and hit batters, but hey, we'll take the win.
Absolutely.
Go home, get ready for the next one.
Well, it looks like now you're going to see another win here. The Lady Warriors just put up the runs today, Coach. Hey, it's already springtime. You're probably already getting ready for basketball season, aren't you?
Well, I'm trying
little by little.
to. Yes, we've got some kids in the gym Tuesdays and Thursday morning. They're going at it, working hard, great attitudes, and that's all I can ask for at this point.
And on the second pitch, right fielder Olivia Tim bunts her way to first. Nicely placed one just up the third base line.
Yeah, the Lady Jays are going to have a lot of work to do here, but Coach, it's always good to see you. You better be careful before they ask you to do the rest of the season.
And Tim is caught stealing.
I enjoy it. I get to see the kids in a different light. I don't have to holler and scream at them from the bench, and
yeah.
I can be a little exaggerating of names and throw a couple nicknames in there. Cash Roth, we got him as Cassius Clay.
I like that one.
I don't think you've met our new sports analyst. This is Nathan Orger. This is Mike Springer, head basketball coach for the Winamac Warriors.
It's always a good night when the Warriors are winning. Doesn't matter if it's the Lady Warriors or the Warriors. Gotta throw up some smoke signals to get some W's up there.
And Lambert strikes out on 3 straight pitches.
For Lambert, as that's out number 2. But we came out with the all-area basketball team this past weekend.
Yep.
Of course, John Malco was on the first team. Yes. We got Potoff, Justin Potoff on honorable mention.
Yep.
You got a good future in Justin Potoff, Coach.
Sure enough, he's a good ball player. He likes playing. He's on a summer spring team here, and he's played in Indianapolis over the weekend, and just really enjoys playing basketball. And when you got kids like that, John Malco was the same way, and sorry to see him graduate. But you know what? The people in this area, Mitch, are blessed with you guys and the work that you do for all the sports. I'm serious. You don't see it in every place, but in the Stark, Pulaski County area, you guys do a great job. And I know the kids look back on it and say,
"You better stop now before they realize why I asked you on the air."
Okay, all right.
Quickly 0-2 to Emma Baxter.
You guys take care.
And she strikes out to end.
It's okay. You can let it happen. We'll catch him up. Good to see you, Coach. I appreciate you. You got to remember, I'm running the show, baby. I'm running the show. Big-time strikeout there, unfortunately, for the Lady Jays as they go down swinging. That is the end of the ball game. 9-0 is the final. It just wasn't the Lady Jays' night, but a big win for the Winamac Lady Warriors. We still have work to do, so don't go anywhere. We've got to name our Stark County Co-op Play of the Game as well as our Ashley Derrickson 5-star Player of the Game. That's in the Collins Insurance post-game show, so don't go anywhere. You are listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home. Pulaski Memorial Hospital is all about community and keeping our community spotlight shining on the accomplishments of our youth. That's why PMH is proud to be a sponsor of our local high school sports action on WKVI, our community radio station. Pulaski Memorial Hospital. Quality care closer to home.
It's hard to believe, but time sure does fly by. Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox are celebrating over 30 years of taking care of all of your insurance needs in our communities.
If I could turn back time.
And we're not going anywhere. Stop in and see Jim and the crew at Collins Insurance Agency in downtown Knox. Insurance you can count on from a business you've trusted since 1989. Proud presidential partners of Western Reserve.
Welcome to the Collins Insurance Agency's post-game show.
9-0 as the Winamac Lady Warriors beat their Hoosier North Athletic Conference rival, the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. My goodness, what a performance by the Winamac Lady Warriors. Nathan Orger on the call with me here. What comes to mind when you think about what we just saw?
First of all, the Lady Warriors, they played really good softball tonight. They did not let up. Brooke Roush pitched a very good game. The offense produced. They only had one inning all game where they did not put any runs on the board. And the most they scored was 3 in that 6th inning. It's not like they had one of those fluke innings that changed the trajectory of the game. They were just consistent. I think I'm not sure that they made as I ruled them, I think they made one error all game while the Lady Jays defense certainly struggled a bit. Winamac, they came to win, to defend their home turf. They did it in strong fashion, and the Lady Jays, Winamac beat them. I'm not going to deny that credit, but they contributed to their own defeat, unfortunately.
And that is one of the things we talked about in the keys of the game. Don't get down on yourself. You've got to stay positive, but a tough situation for the Lady Jays. They put it all up to the top of the 7th to try to get anything to cross, but they just could not. As Collins Insurance is part of the broadcast, taking care of all your insurance needs. Jim Collins told me to tell you, call him anytime at 574-772-6844. That's Collins Insurance, supporting local high school sports. Well, we'll take a break, come back, announce our Stark County Co-op play of the game. You are listening to Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
The Stark County Co-op has been a member-owned farm services co-op in Stark County since 1928. That's over 90 years, and they're still providing the same quality agronomy services to the farming community of Stark and surrounding counties. The Stark County Co-op is an LP and fuel provider. The Stark County Co-op purchases grain at both locations, Hamlet and Brems. You can reach them by phone at 1-800-782-3392, the Stark County Co-op.
It's time for the Stark County Co-op play of the game. Let's return to the voice of WKVI Sports, Mitch Columbi.
We thank the Stark County Co-op, your local agricultural cooperative that offers an array of service and support, including grain, agronomy, seed, fuel, and LP Petroleum. Call 574-867-2411 to contact the Stark County Co-op. Our Stark County Co-op play of the game, Nathan.
You know, Mitch, you look at the score across the line for Winamac. Just about everybody was contributing. They played solid defense. No really stellar plays stand out. I think all things considered, given that Brooke Roush shut them out, I'm going to go with Michaela Werner's first inning home run that set the tone for the game and ended up being the only run they need.
Yeah, it really just set
We're gonna go with that.
I agree with it. That first home run really just set the bar for the Lady Warriors. What a play it was, and really they never looked back after that. You had 9 runs, Coach. Explain yourself.
Pretty happy about that. That's for sure. And they get up there in a hurry when you have kids hitting the ball out of the park.
Explain yourself. How dare you score 9 runs, Coach?
But we kind of mentioned it, and we've talked before. This is a bigger outfield than the town park, and then here we see, were these the two? Surely, I mean, I haven't looked the stats. Have you guys had a homer in this park yet?
No,
so
not from our team. There was one from the opponent, but these were our first home runs from the Lady Warriors, and I feel
extra good about giving Michaela the play of the game for the first
home run
in the new stadium. That's fantastic.
Yep, that was pretty cool.
Well, Coach, let's talk about it. The Lady Jays came into today. We had kind of talked with head coach Gary Baxter before. They've been able to put the ball in play. They have very good hitters that are batting over 300 average. They weren't able to do that tonight to you guys. What do you think attributed to that?
I think Brooke did a really good job in the circle for us tonight. I think her movement and her change of speed, it's not drastic, but it's just deceptive enough that I think it throws hitters off. And I think she hit her spots really well tonight and just did a really good job for us from the circle.
I mean, talk about the bats. They were swinging today, Coach.
Yeah. To get those 9 runs up, that was really nice. Had a lot of hits from everybody. I thought the hitters all throughout the lineup contributed, from top to bottom. I thought really another thing besides the bats, the base running tonight. We had that one inning where, Brooke Roush came to third when third was left open,
yes.
And then Brody Goodman just took off.
I'm going for it.
Exactly. That was awesome. That was quite some base running there. Brody did a great job. And then, mentioning Brooke again, I believe there were 3 innings in a row. Correct me if I'm wrong, but 3 innings in a row that North Judson had runners at second and third.
Runners on
Brooke,
the corners.
with 1 out.
And still was able to get out of the inning.
Brooke got a strikeout, and then the next play we would get out of the inning. Yeah, so just an all-around really solid game, I think, all the way around for us. It was nice to see.
I was talking to Nathan about, the game against West Central. It took you a few innings to finally get warmed up before you came back in the 7th and won. Same thing against the Knox Lady Redskins. The last game we saw, you almost came back and won that in the 7th. It was nice to see you guys get on the board early, Coach.
It was. It's I like that, too. And, I'm glad to hear you mentioning Michaela's home run because I think that's so true in our game. if you have some kids that can come out and do something right away, as you said, it really sets the tone.
That's exactly the language I used, Coach. She
makes
set the tone with that.
It makes everybody relax. It makes your
Yep.
pitcher relax when she's able to go back out the next inning with the lead. It makes your defense relax a little bit in a good way. They're not on pins and needles thinking they have to do too much, and it's just a good win all the way around.
You even up at 2-2 in the conference now. It's not an easy conference. We've
No.
talked about it before, but to get a win against the rival, the North Judson-San Pierre Blue Jays, are you happy with where your ball club's at right now?
I am, yeah. We've just tried to emphasize keep building. We didn't come out at the beginning of the season where we thought we would. We were a little behind where we thought we would be offensively, and we just continued to chip away every game. Try to get a few more base runners, try to get a few more hits, try to get a few more runs. And I think our approach at the plate is getting better. That's what I'm most pleased about. We come up to the plate and we're looking for that pitch that we can drive, and when we see it, most of the time we're going for it. We're going to hit that pitch.
Any questions for Coach Nathan?
How you feeling going into the next game?
I'm feeling good. There are rivalries. There are certain rivalries, certain games that
these are checkpoints.
Whether they're a conference game or not,
right?
The North Judson-Winamac rivalry is alive and well. And so to step on the field and be able to play well against them and come away with the W, we're really pleased about that.
Well, we sure do appreciate you coming up and talking with us. Great win tonight. Good for you guys, and we'll keep our eye on you and talk soon, hopefully on the Saturday Sports Line.
Sounds good.
Congratulations,
Thank you very much.
Coach.
Thanks.
All right, that is head coach Jenny Belcher of the Winamac Lady Warriors, 9-0, a huge win over their rival, the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays. We still have some work to do. We just named our Stark County Co-op Play of the Game, Michaela Warner's big-time home run. What inning was that again?
That was first inning, second Winamac at bat.
Just right off the get-go, the Lady Warriors were ready for this one. They weren't letting the forecast bother them today. They were ready to play, as we're going to take a break and come back for our Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game. We thank the Stark County Co-op as well as 5-star for supporting local high school sports. We remind you to shop local. That's 5-star. Where's it at, Nathan?
In the Knox Mall.
Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game coming up next.
Since 1936, Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning have always taken pride in doing the job right. Third-generation owner Brian Hammond and his family have always set the standard when it comes to taking care of all your heating and cooling needs. Making your home a comfortable home is the absolute top priority. If you are uncomfortable in your home, give them a call at 574-936-4660. Follow them on Facebook. Let Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning help you take control of your comfort.
Time to announce the Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game. Mitch?
Time now for our Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game, given in memory of Ashley Derrickson, a 2008 graduate of North Judson-San Pierre High School, who battled cancer throughout her high school career before losing that battle on December 12th of 2008. We'll tell you who's earned that honor after this word from 5-star.
5-Star, the largest meat and grocery store in the area, focused on quality, value, and customer service. The 5 stars in the name of the store come from 5 family members of the original owner serving in World War II, each one represented by a blue star on a flag hanging in the front window of the family home. That's why even decades later, 5-Star is known for its dedication to service. Now that dedication means savings for you. 5-Star, one of the We Care stores, the area's largest meat and grocery store, focused on quality, value, and customer service. Located, you know where, in the Knox Mall.
Well, who do you think?
Again, I'm looking at this scorebook, and, Maggie Smith came in to score twice. Curran Combs, 2 home runs. A lot of offensive action, decent defense across the board. But I think the credit goes to Brooke Roush.
Yeah.
She just, was pitched magnificently tonight. 77 pitches in 7 innings, 11, averaging only 11 pitches an inning. She had one 5-pitch inning back in the 5th. No runs. She just was fantastic tonight, and she's got to be the Ashley Derrickson player of the game. There's a lot of credit to go around that whole team, but she was the anchor.
What is going on right now? We are seeing fantastic. This is a second pitching performance we've seen. We saw Brody Winsler.
Must be something in the groundwater in Pulaski County.
There's something going on here. What are you doing over here?
They're getting their extra vitamins and minerals, and they are really putting it to good use.
Well, congratulations to Winamac pitcher Brooke Roush on being named our Ashley Derrickson 5-star player of the game. Hey, KVB Sports will be back in action Thursday to see the Oregon Davis Bobcats host the South Central Satellites. We will be going live at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central, right here on 99.3 FM and streaming throughout the world on WKVI.com. We also remind you to join us each weekend throughout the school year for the Saturday Sports Line. That's the longest-running high school sports show in Indiana, thanks to our very own Harold Welter. We always have several of our area head coaches on hand as we go live at 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central on 99.3 FM and online at WKVI.com. If you ever miss the Saturday Sports Line, don't worry. We remind you of the Saturday Sports Line replay every Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern and 6 p.m. Central. We also invite you to follow us on social media. We are on Instagram at WKVI Sports, on X, formerly Twitter at KVB Sports, and on Facebook at Sports to the Max for all Kankakee Valley broadcasting sports content. Final word from you tonight, Nathan.
It's going to be a tough bus ride home for the Lady Jays. A lot of celebrating to do for the Warriors. I think both teams are going to come out of this game looking, they're going to be hungry. I look forward to their next matches, each of them hungry for different reasons. I think Coach Belcher and her young ladies, they're going to want to keep this going. They're going to want to move this momentum, and this is 2 tough losses in a row for Coach Baxter's Jays. And they really need to right the ship, and I think they're going to be hungry to do it. We got a couple of home games this weekend. Week I'll be doing the PA for, and I think it's going to be absolutely critical for them. I know the way sectionals work in Indiana, it's not like they've got to have a certain qualifying record, but I think as they draw nearer to sectionals, just had the drawings yesterday, they're going to need better momentum.
Yeah,
and they're going to have to be hungry. They're going to have to work for it.
Well, our final in this one saw the Winamac Lady Warriors beat the North Judson-San Pierre Lady Blue Jays 9-0. From all of us here at KVB, we thank you for listening to Indiana High School Softball. For our sports analyst, Nathan Orger, our in-game announcer, John Thompson, I am Mitch Columbi. The tradition continues. We are Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.
Thank you for listening to Indiana High School Softball on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI. Sponsored in part by Culver's Portside Marina, NEPCO, Crane and Equipment Services, Farm Fertilizers, First Farmers Bank and Trust, Lawrence Farms, Mark's Body Shop in Knox, Zingo Express, Pulaski Memorial Hospital, Stark County Co-op, The Auto Park with locations in LaPorte, Plymouth, and Bremen, Standard Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning, Collins Insurance, Howard's Marathon of Winamac, and 5 Star. We'd like to thank our sponsors for their dedication in supporting local high school sports and helping continue the tradition on Kankakee Valley Broadcasting's WKVI.